king, I am not a god, I am Hunkpain!
What's poppin' Tano, and welcome ladies and gentlemen. In this video we're gonna talk about the ultimate Jade endgame build. Now, in this video you will learn about her abilities, what helmet abilities to use, and everything. But before we get to that, let me show you the level cap speedrun. Let's go.
Yeah, boy. Oh shit. Here we go again.
What?
Another one.
And welcome back Tano. I hope you enjoyed the speedrun, and worry not, I will walk you through everything you need to know and you saw on the speedrun. But first we start from the very basics, beginners friendly approach for Jade. For Thanos who doesn't know anything about her, starting with the passive. The passive is really simple. It has two parts. The first part, you can equip 2 aura mods, and her abilities will apply judgment, making enemies vulnerable 50% to damage for 10 seconds. Simple as that. Now for the first ability, Light Judgment. The first time I saw this ability, I said this is the one I will switch for a helmet ability. But then the more I study Jade, the more I explored her kit, this ability is really important for her synergy. If you're going to just throw it and switch it with a helmet ability, I would say just play different Warframe. You don't need to play Jade, because judgment is really important. Now, what this ability does, it will create a well. The radius is affected by ability range. It will heal you and your allies, the healing per second affected by ability strength, and any enemies will go inside. They will receive damage, not so big damage, alright, but they will be affected by judgment. Remember this word judgment, because when we go through her kit, you will understand judgment almost mentioned in every single abilities on her kit. That's how good it is and how awesome it's synergized with the next ones. And now for her second ability, Symphony of Mercy, the best ability on her kit hands down, and I think this is one of the best abilities in the game. And if Jade ever receives a nerf, it will be around Symphony of Mercy. Now this ability will buff you and your allies, and when it comes to damage, it can buff your amp damage on your operator as well. Yes, you heard me right. Now, you cycle through 3 mods, Power of the 7, Deathbringer, and Spirit of Resilience. If you want to choose one of them to buff yourself, you just hold. Now, you can activate all 3 buffs the same time. It's crazy, right? So, first one, Power of the 7, it will increase your strength, and it's affected by your strength mods. How crazy is that? Now, Deathbringer increasing your damage, and it's affected by the strength mods and affected by Power of the 7. Imagine. Alright, Spirit of Resilience will give you shield per second affected by ability strength and shield recharge delay affected by ability strength. This ability is really crazy and like amazing, just amazing. And now, the thing that I told you earlier about the judgment, I told you it's so important to her first ability because, look at this. Extend the duration of each song by killing enemies surrounded by judgment. Meaning, if you have Power of the Seven, Deathbringer, Spirit of Resilience active, and you have enemies marked by Light of Judgment, the first ability, and you kill them, you don't need to activate your ability buffs again. You're just gonna be expanding and expanding for a duration. How good is that? You see, this is the first way to use Judgment. That's why I told you not to remove the first ability. And now for the third ability, Ophanim Eyes. You will summon eyes around Jade. They have 70-degree angle, alright? These eyes, when they look at enemy, they will start slowing it down until 90%, and they will start lowering the armor until 100% armor is stripped. This ability procs heat as well, 57. It can scale with ability strength, but it's not good at all. It has a 20-meter range and 30-second duration because the eye is going to be hanging around. This ability totally sucks, and I hope DE one day rework it. It's very slow for our gameplay. I really hoped it's going to be like area of effect, armor stripping enemies immediately, or works like, let's say, Gloom, slowing enemies, but it's not. It works okay, but at end game, it doesn't at all. It's not good, especially with the amount of Eximos we have in the game. So, if you want to use a helmet ability, this is the one you want to switch it with. And please, DE, if you will rework this one, make it synergize with her Judgment kit. Makes it really, really good, maybe. Now for the fourth ability and her ultimate, Glory on High. Now, this ability is so fun to use, it puts you flying up in the sky like a superwoman. But at level high enemies, this ability will make you vulnerable to a lot of damage because it limits your parkour and your dodging techniques. But you can use all her kit, even the helmet one you put in here. And also it gives you a start of 40% damage reduction. It caps at 50%. And not only that, it summons your Glory, the exalted weapon. And this weapon have two fires. The normal, which is the main fire, is just shooting like a pistol, marking enemies with Judgment. 10% chance to mark that enemy, okay? Now, enemies affected by Judgment, you can use alternate fire on them, and it's really powerful alternate fire. That's why I told you Light of Judgment is very good ability, and you don't want to throw it for Helmnith because it synergizes really good with her kit. Before I show you the fourth ability power and her exalted weapon, I want to tell you that this Jade that I'm going to showcase right now with doesn't have any mods to increase strength or whatever, and only prime the flow for some energy. Okay, so first thing I want to do is going up in the sky, and then the Glory is out, the exalted weapon. We're gonna shoot until we get one enemy affected by Judgment, the yellow mark on top of the head, and then we can use the alternate fire, the button in the mouse wheel, and we can detonate. So weak, right? Okay, so that's why comes the Light Judgment, the first ability. That's why I say keep it, and check this out. You can already see the difference of power in here, and I'm not even using my second ability. I'm buffing myself at all. You get it, my friend? Yes, you do. For the build that you've been waiting for, starting with the Archon Shards. 2 Amber Archon Shards for casting speed, so we don't use Natural Torrent. We save 1 mod slot. It can be Tough Forge or not, depends on what you have. 2 Emerald Archon Shards to reach 14 stacks of Corrosive to armor strip enemies with our weapons without relying on her third ability. The slow one is very slow. Or any Helmith ability or Fox School because we need them on different things. Now, the fifth one gonna be anything you want. I'm gonna be just throwing ability strength in here. Now, I tried and I benchmarked her a lot in many areas in the game, and I figured that she is at her best when she is a support tank. Hands down, trust me. Now, Arcane Energize, Arcane Aegis, Brief Respite, Pistol Amp, you can switch, it depends on the weapon you're using. Premature Footed, you can remove it, you can keep it, totally up to you, but it's good to have in there so you don't get knocked down. Vigilante Vigor, Shield Recharge and minus Shield Recharge Delay, Primed Redirection for shield capacity, Fast Deflection for Shield Recharge and minus Shield Recharge Delay, Adaptation to adapt to damage, and if you're pushing enemies beyond 2000, adaptation will not do much for you. Fortitude will be better in my opinion. Now, Rolling Guard, it's really important to have, especially if you want to use from time to time your Glory of High. And sometimes you find yourself against Thraxis and Nullifiers and Kuva, Torkunyar or whatever. Umbra Intensify for strength, Primate Flow for energy, Primate Continuity, and you're good to go. This build you're seeing right now, it have 159 strength. You can run, instead of her Aphanium Eyes, you can run Terrify, you can run Pillage, you can run Ensnare, you can learn Larva, you can learn Pool, you can learn Tharos Strike, you can run any Helmeth ability you desire, whatever. Just throw whatever you want in here. You don't have to follow my Helmeth ability that I like. But the Helmeth ability I'm going to be using is Nourish. The reason I use Nourish, so I can proc Viral, while my weapon proccing Corrosive and Armor Stripping. So Armor Stripping and Corrosive and Viral coming from Nourish. And if you don't want Nourish, of course you can use the Panzer Profiler to proc Viral for you, so you can use any other helmet you want. But the pet I'm going to be using is Nautilus, baby, using this build. Cordon, Shield Recharge, Vacuum, Tenacious Bond, Manifold Bond, Enhanced Vitality, Guardian, Assault Mode, Primate Animal Instinct, and Primate Regen with Volcloak weapon, and that's the build. Now, the rest of the stuff in here, everything is in channel. Madurai, for some reasons, since it's a Void Cascade showcase. Void Strike will buff you with 1000% damage and deplete all your energy, activating Eternal Onslaught for 180% critical chance. If Void Strike is on cooldown, Contamination Wave, when you hit enemies with it, you will make them vulnerable to the Void damage. Now, I know in the speedrun you saw that I didn't use Nautilus. Now let me show you the glory build that I'm going to be using. Galvanized Diffusion, Galvanized Shot, Lethal Turret, Pistol Pestilence, Primate Target Cracker, Primate Pistol Gambit, and Ornate Strike and Primate Convulsion. Ornate Strike if you're gonna try this against Thrax, otherwise just use a multiplicative faction damage mode. Okay, now let me show you this build on its defensive mode and its offensive mode. Let's start with the defensive mode. As you can see, these enemies will start hitting and they will fail at killing me. Activating the second ability constantly will make you invulnerable to all the upcoming damage. The more enemies hit you, believe it or not, the more chances of staying alive. Okay, make sure all the buffs from your second ability are active. Simple as that. Look at this. Level 225 heavy corrupted gunners. And of course, you're not going to be playing like this. You're going to be rolling guarding. You're going to be using operator. You can use Magos lockdown like this to lock them down. You can do a lot of stuff. You're not a sitting duck, my friend. Now, the offensive part, you're going to be marking enemies with the light judgment. And then going up in the sky, showing them a superwoman what capable of. And look at that, hundreds of thousands of damage. Look at that. And of course, move left, move right, and where you are in a bad situation, of course, roll guard in mid-air, and you can activate Nourish, buff yourself with the second ability, and you're good to go. But make sure always they are in light of judgment and they are marked. Okay, simple as that. This will take you to level 2000, no problem. After that, you can like start using your real weapon like dual Toxicus, dual Ecor, Glaive, Sirata, Folkor, whatever you want. By this, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the end of the video. I really hope from my heart that this video helps you out, figure out how you want to play your Jade. As this video took me a lot of effort to try to benchmark and to test everything before I release it for you guys. This is a support tank build to help you go in any mission, in any content in the game. You're good to go. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn the bell on to get notification about the upcoming videos. There is still more videos coming about Jade Shadows. Check out the channel on how to farm Jade and how to get your Prex cards and a lot of other amazing videos that will help you in your career in Warframe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.
I am not a king, I am not a god, I am Hunkpain.